Hello guys, KP Shamino here with a new video for Call of the Wild Angler. And my guess is it will be probably my last video because today we had very important news. It's not so good for people that play this game a lot. What is going to happen? So they announced that they are going to end the development for Call of the Wild Angler. So what does that mean? That they are not going to make any more new content for this game. For me, it was not really a surprise because, yeah, numbers never lie. I know the amount of players that play this game on Steam, and I never understood how they can keep up a developing team. They talk a little bit later about it, that they couldn't keep it up, therefore they took this decision. So I'm going to talk first about the info that they gave, that you guys know all the info that you need to have. And then I'm going to give my thoughts a little bit about the feeling that I had about the game the last 2.5 years. So first of all, the Angler will remain playable both online and offline in its current state, and you still be able to purchase and access the base game and all the DLC content across all platforms. The big difference is that there won't be any new content or updates moving forward. Always remember this. I don't think that this will be infinite because at the end they are saying here, okay, you can still buy the game, but keeping a game online, there is always a maintenance that you need to do. It takes money too. So what I see is what will be the end. It will die with small steps, this game. I saw it with the Fisherman too. For people that don't know the Fisherman is the paid version of Fishing Planet. What happened to that game? It just died. Because at some moment it works all with each other. So the revenues will go down because why would people buy a game that don't get updates anymore? With the revenues going down, the maintenance is going to be too expensive, and at some point my guess is that it will probably become a game offline. So that you can still play it, but it will be probably offline. Because offline, that means that most of the servers, you don't need to pay them. It's just a game that you play offline, and that's, I think, the most reasonable end for this game. But we will see. That's just my thoughts, what I saw in the past, and that's what I think is going to happen. Then they talk a little bit about the vision. Yeah, the vision, okay. And then they talk about something that I already saw for some time. However, maintaining the audience size necessary to support the continued development of this ambitious game proved more challenging than expected. So it's time for the team to move on to other projects. That's something that I saw the entire time. So there was one blind spot for me. I didn't know how many people played this game on the consoles. So therefore I was never sure. But if you see that they had at the start a very high peak and then all the people left again, I could understand that. And then you see, like, even if they give the game almost away for free, there were like 400 players on Steam maximum. You cannot maintain a game like that. If I saw how many developers that they had, those people need to get paid too, you know. I did roughly a calculation, and I never could understand how they can keep going and going. And at the end, they couldn't keep going because the revenues were not enough to keep the game going. So that's something that I saw already from the moment that they were released, to be honest. So that's not really a surprise, but they are saying it here too. So we understand that this may came as a surprise and want you to know it was not an easy decision to make. So that's something that I already said. That's passion, that's all okay. Then they talk about the moderators. What does end of development means? That we won't make any more content updates for the game and that the development team will move to other projects here at Avalanche. So that's something that I already said. Will multiplayer be affected? No, multiplayer will continue to be supported. But I think this is temporary until the money dries up, and then I'm not sure. I don't know. It's maybe possible because it's a decent big company. This one, yeah, it's not that big, but they got somewhere money that they can get from somewhere else. What happened to the community channels or main social media channel? Facebook, Instagram, X will still be around, and we will post any game related updates there. The community Discord server will move to a read-only format on February the 4th. That's a big one. That's something that I missed. So that means that you cannot post anymore. Okay, so the server is gone for the Discord. That's a pity. How can you contact you with issues? While the support offered on Discord will cease, you can still create a support ticket on this one. So that was it. It's not the best news. I feel very sorry for people that play this game a lot. I know there is a small base for this game, but it's hardcore people. I know that. And I think at the end that was a little bit a problem too. So there are a couple of things. So people that follow my channel. So I was very critical. So the moment that this game came out, I was very critical. They gave me early access. And I gave it a very low score. And I said to them, or in my review, I said you need to change that. I did it a couple of times what you need to change to make a very good fishing game. But it seems that they just kept going at the direction that they wanted to go. I never thought it was the right direction. I saw in popular fishing games what you need to do. You can say what you want, and I'm going to say it again. They needed to work on the fishing mechanics. That's the base of the game. They never did it. They just always made new content, just went further with the content, and the fishing was not good. That was the problem. They got a very big world. The fishing mechanics were very bad. Everything that they put in the game, like the ground bait, was not good. The fights were not good. Walkers that were not walking. The menu, the amount of lures and gear and all that stuff was so small. It was all the same, and that was a problem. Because in the popular fishing games, you got a very big amount of gear. You got a lot of mechanics, how you can fish, how you can approach the fish. You got weather types. They never had that. They didn't want that in that game. And the biggest problem that I saw was that the very hardcore base in this game never want that either. And that was a very big problem. And it's a pity. Because I think they had so much potential, this game. It was unbelievable. But they needed to listen to people that got experience in the other fishing games. That was a very big problem too. If I see in Fishing Planet, I can say to you guys there are 5-6 content creators that never played Call of the Wild Angler. They could give a lot of feedback about this game, but they never came. That was the problem. So the feedback that came to this game came from already the population that was playing this game. And that was, I think, the biggest problem. And at the end, yeah, it's something, yeah, if you want to keep the vision and at the start it does not work, and you keep going with your vision, at the end it does not work either. That's the problem. And it's a pity because I cannot stress it enough. If this game, you need to understand what I'm saying. If this game, with the environment that they had, if they implemented the fishing mechanics from the popular fishing games, this was probably the best fishing game ever made. But they didn't want to do it, or they couldn't do it. That's a possibility too. That I had a lot of times the impression that the fishing knowledge of the developers was not really there. And it was a little bit a perfect storm, but for me not really unexpected what happened here. So that's it's a pity, but I can just say to you guys what I can say. at the end, it does not matter anymore because the project is finished, and I want to thank you guys for watching. Have fun, and I see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.